That is a very enthusiastic, rescued white tiger, Thor Jr., not hesitating a single moment, out to explore what his caretakers have placed for him for enrichment. And I can tell you, Thor, it's a lot of frozen fun today. It looks like we've got some ice cubes in the pool there. We did have one more ice cube, but it's already melted. But Thor getting straight to business, his favorite toy of all time, a ball. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm seeing some people come in now. Welcome. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, and welcome to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We are a rescue and sanctuary to 150 plus wildcats in need, where they're forever home, and Thor is just one of those 150 plus rescued feline residents. Thor Jr. here, kind of gallivanting around his habitat after his caretakers have cleaned it and placed some fun enrichment. You'll see a frozen watermelon there, some ice cubes, or ice blocks I should say. And if you're a cat owner at home, you might recognize the shape of this ice block. That is in the shape of a cat litter can there. So that tiny cat litter that you probably have at home for your cats maybe. We've repurposed those in many ways, and one of those is the perfect ice cube mold. Thor kind of checking out, though, if his caretakers have left any scatter feeding enrichment, which I don't think that's the case today. And before I keep moving too far, hello, give me a wave. We have some of our animal care interns and some new ones too. Do you just want to quickly, I'm going to unmic myself or put it closer. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Haley.
Hi, Haley. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Courtney.
And Courtney and Aaron, our lead intern, and Sydney, one of our animal care interns. So thank you all for helping place this enrichment too. I promised them that I wouldn't make them talk too much on the spot, so all of us will keep moving, all 33 of us. And there Thor goes, bounding over the crest of that hill there. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have moved at all. I know better than that, Thor. But another day with no comments, so I apologize you all, but welcome. I do see that you're at least here. So thank you for being here. A good afternoon to my East Coasters. A little ahead of us, but 11:30, still the morning here in Minnesota. Really nice mild day. I think it gets up into the 70s today. But no rain, not quite sunshine either. A lot of people have been asking about the wildfire smoke. We certainly felt it a lot more last week. The air quality is a little bit better here. But thankfully that's kind of moving on out, so not too bad. Perhaps a little overcast. Oh my goodness, Thor. And just like a typical cat, knocking things off of tall platforms. Thor, that is a very cat thing to do. Is knocking your toys off of the table or your big tiger-sized cat tree. But Thor here, he was rescued from Tiger King Park. Yes, that Tiger King. Before coming here to Sanctuary. Unfortunately, none of our rescues can be released. That's why they're here. We're kind of their best case scenario. It's not only impossible to release our cats just because that infrastructure isn't set up for large carnivores to reintroduce captive bred and born large carnivores into the wild, but it's also illegal. Thor here was bred in captivity. Sadly, tigers like him were bred in captivity for generations, which also leads to that white coloration. So Thor was bred in captivity for profit, which is a tragic story, but ultimately it ends with a happy ending because of your support, all of you, your love and care and support, because now Thor gets to live out his life here at Sanctuary. So we do our best to make it as enriching of a life as possible, wild at heart life, we like to say. Thor is only about 7 or 8, which is ultimately pretty young for a tiger. So he's in this large free-roaming habitat where he gets to swim and romp and play and enjoy tasty treats like frozen watermelon, of course a catered diet, which he's already received today, that watermelon, I promise. Thor is a carnivore, that is not his meal. That is just a plaything. on-site vet care. Thor is afforded everything that he could possibly need and then some here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Including that fancy in-ground pool, Thor. And what you'll see there with these frozen watermelons, the skin comes off pretty easily. The cats like to bite into them, but Thor here, he's doing more of a little bit of a dunking game. Pushing that watermelon under the water, bobbing it around. Yeah, that's pretty fun, Thor. I'm ready for him to take a bite out of it. And tigers, you know, in the wild, they do like water. Out of many cat species, I'd say they're more water inclined. Our tigers here at Sanctuary, though, they really do enjoy their pools. So having this fun enrichment, especially in the pool or frozen enrichment to cool down in the summertime, is a favorite of our tigers. Thor Jr. doing a great demonstration of that here. They're able to wade in those pools, splash around. And I see a lot of our tigers kind of just relaxing in them too, laying down in them, keeping cool. And you can always tell when a tiger has maybe been enjoying pool time because of their wet coat. But I am kind of cracking up because caretakers would have just cleaned that pool. And Thor has now dunked that watermelon into that pool. All that skin kind of falling off there. And just as soon as it was cleaned, it was dirty again, Thor. That's what the pools are for having fun. What do you think? It looks crystal clear. And the other cats over here at Wild Woodlands, our other young tigers, also got enrichment today, so we'll go check in with them too, but especially because Thor's having so much fun right now. We'll hang out with him a little bit longer. You'll also see that pool filling there, just because they just cleaned it. They drained the pools, scrubbed them, and then they refill them. So not only is that pool fancy just because he has a built-in in-ground pool in that habitat, but it fills itself up too. It's pretty neat, Thor. I don't even have one of those. I'm kind of jealous. Just checking out that ice block there. I know that Judson and Victoria and Kaoyang yesterday put some catnip in those ice blocks. I'm not too confident that Thor is curious about the catnip necessarily, but he sure is enthralled with how that ice cube floats. Lots to investigate there, big guy. You know, I was kind of mentioning how these ice blocks, especially for our tigers, we repurpose items like cat litter. I feel like it would be a shame if I didn't plug in our wish list. It is Wish List Wednesday. If you aren't aware, we do have wish lists here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, both on Amazon and on Chewy, where you can support the cats directly. Pick out what you want to purchase, and then it comes straight to the cats. And one of those things that we always need, as you can imagine, with 150 plus cats, is cat litter. A cat like Tiger Thor here isn't using that cat litter, but his younger, or not younger necessarily, but smaller friends up towards the front of the property, maybe in Catio Town or office cats, sure do go through that litter. So it would be much appreciated if you shop those wish lists. Other ways to give are right here on this post. Or if you really want to go above and beyond, maybe you love Thor and you want to support him directly, you can even sponsor a cat, give monthly. There are lots of ways to give, but certainly worth saying that it's your generosity and even just you being here that makes fun moments like this possible. Well, that was a tiger zoomie if I've ever seen one, Thor. That was a big burst of energy. You move quick. And then it's a wait and see for what the tiger's gonna do next. And I think it's bounce right back into the pool. You gonna splash back in there? Of course, he says. Back to the watermelon. Watermelon's a favorite treat of humans in the summer, but for our rescued cats. It is also a favorite treat of theirs. It's not something that all of them necessarily eat. I think it's certainly safe for them to consume, but it's not really a snack. It really is more of a toy that they can destroy and chew up. I do know some of the cats like to eat it, but it doesn't harm them. It's just extra water ultimately, which is always good for our feline friends. And sitting down in the pool water. I'm kind of waiting to see if he takes a moment to plateau here, but I don't think he's going to anytime soon. Thor, you are so silly. I want to check in with your neighbors, but this is fun to watch. Well, I say we go take a quick lap with Thor's tiger neighbors, the other young tigers here in Wild Woodlands, which is this section of the sanctuary. And then we'll come back around with Thor. Hi everyone again. And an awesome mowing volunteer. So many people that make the Wildcat Sanctuary go around, so we can't thank you enough. Oh my gosh, everyone, this is so exciting. I have comments. Yay! It literally took turning a corner and I had comments. Hopefully I didn't scare anyone by exclaiming there. I was just so excited. Carol Hendricks saying pool time, yeah. I'm also going to be going backwards, responding to comments here. Cheryl saying hi to Marcy. Let's see. Looks like sponsor moms of Jeremy, who we won't be seeing today, but rest assured Jeremy's getting pool time too. Hi, Nova. People saying hello to the new interns. Thanks for saying hi. Hi, crazy girl. We'll keep moving on to Dash here. What would Dash be up to? Well, let's see. Just Nova. The other kitties. Do you know if the others are still locked inside? Maybe. Did they get access, Jill? That's what I thought. Oh, there they. Well, there's Daisy. Maybe they're canoodling inside. Let's see. There's Dash. How spoiled, or not spoiled, pampered our cats are. All of our cats have 24/7. There's our internet. We had a little drop there, but just what I was saying is that every cat has an indoor bedroom and their outdoor yard that they have 24/7 access to, and so it looked like Dash was using that indoor bedroom. I do see Indy. She was crouched down in the grass. There she is. Happy cats after being fed with a full belly there. I think she probably has her frozen watermelon over there. I'm seeing some rolling around in the grass. But I do have an audience of all her caretakers coming up behind me, so I'm hopeful she'll come over. But nice to see Indy, kind of off on her own, doing her own thing. We always like to see that with a young cat like her. She has a fresh and clean pool. It's more mellow on this end of Wild Woodlands, which is not what I would expect, to be honest. What are you doing, Indy? Do you have a frozen watermelon over there? There she goes. And she says, let me scratch on my big brush here. Hi, Indy. Chuffs to your caretakers? You chuffy? What's she going to decide to do next? Those thinking ears, those forward-facing ears. I always like seeing what the cats decide to do, and she's going straight back to being silly. There she goes. She's just charging up. That's what I think. Well, everyone, I'm making the decision. We're going back over to Thor Jr. He is the life of the party over there. I see Dash kind of, again, well, he's kind of flirting with Indy over there. They're chatting with each other. So we'll head back over to Thor Jr. because he was really having fun in that pool there. But another kind of exciting week this week, it is Animal Sanctuary Caregiver Appreciation Week. A little bit of a mouthful, but an important one. So today we're doing a fun little activity with our caretakers, animal care interns, showing them, or at least telling them how much we appreciate them, because I think it goes without saying, but the Wildcat Sanctuary and what we do would not be possible without their dedication. And I know we say it, but it can't be overstated. Hi, buddy. How much sacrifice someone in this career gives to the animals. They really, really do give their lives to the animals. So if you're listening out there, and to our awesome caretaking team back there, thank you for all you do for the animals, because it wouldn't be possible without them. So if you are there in the comments, make sure you give them maybe a round of applause and some words of appreciation too. That day is formally on Friday, I believe, but we'll be celebrating our team today. Hi, Thor. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You can tell that this kitty had a fun time in the pool because you're soaking wet. Hey, buddy. Thank you. Some soft moos from Thor Jr. And I'm hearing Nova bang around over there, but I don't see her. Is it Dash? Okay. 73 people here. Welcome. This is a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We're hanging out with Rescue Tiger Thor Jr. here. He just enjoyed splashing around in his in-ground pool with some fun tiger-sized enrichment. And now he's kind of making his rounds, maybe calming down, maybe just recharging. He might go and leap back over that hill there. But lots of fun for our rescue tigers today and every day, but especially in these summer months where it's maybe a little warmer outside. Having that pool enrichment, which is what Thor is going over the hill to access again, is really, really great for our rescued tigers. And, oh, you all would have just seen that tail go up in the air, and that was because the tiger just took a dive in his pool. So we'll kind of go wrap up over there, but a good day with Thor Jr. If you know any one of his sponsor parents, make sure to tag them in the comments. I think this would be a fun live to watch, or if you know a tiger lover, tag them in the comments. You know, just fun to see a cat being a cat as they're meant to be. And then we get to all enjoy it together. That's one of the best parts of these live posts, is that we get to be all together. Thor, you can't decide whether you like the watermelon or the floating ice more. So many choices. And he's dunked the ice cube kind of underwater. Those ice cubes, they're fading fast. They're melting in the water there, so I'm glad to see Thor Jr. We do have this one ice block that's holding strong. Maya, I agree. Another comment rolling in here that I'm so lucky to be around such beautiful animals. Yes, all of us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary really are. I think, you know, this job is multi-layered, and being part of the sanctuary family, even our supporters, you know, it's multi-layered. We're sad that these cats can't be in the wild, and ultimately we'd want them to be wild because they're wild animals and we respect them as such. But since, you know, that wasn't in their cards, and fate could have been a lot worse for them. Oh, Thor Jr. You know, it's moments like this that make it so sweet. We really are so lucky to be around animals like this, and they're lucky to have you all. And Faith saying, Happy International Lynx Day. I know, we'll be having a post go up a little later on all of our lynx friends here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We love our lynxes. And they're very special residents here at the sanctuary as well. Chizzy asking, I wonder if Dash wears a swim cap when he goes swimming. Nope, Dash likes to go in just how he is. No swim cap for Dash, but he does love that swimming pool. Jill saying, caretakers are amazing. Same with Devi, Carol Hendricks. And there we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the moment the tiger kind of ceremoniously dropped down into the cool grass, taking a break, Well, we have to end on a cat, and this isn't... Let's see if we can get a better angle of Thor Jr. here. Although I think I always like the natural cues the cats give us on these live posts. But if you did enjoy this live and you're someone new, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Be sure to ask any questions in the comments. The comments were a little iffy today, but rest assured that we'll get back to your questions later on. But then also, we do these lives a few times a week, and tomorrow, for example, Tammy will be doing a Wildcat wrap-up, our founder and executive director, where she kind of catches us all up on Sanctuary happenings, so you don't want to miss that. But this was a fun one today. Thank you all for joining. Thor Jr. is going to wind down here, and our team's going to go enjoy that caretaker appreciation. So thank you all. Be sure to tune in to Tammy's Wildcat wrap-up tomorrow. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.